Hello, everyone, and welcome to Snap Take. It's a new season. Not only is it a new season, it's your second video of the day. This is the one where we go over the new card. We're going to tell you about Sam Wilson, Captain America, and Joaquin Torres, the new Falcon, that are both coming to Marvel Snap as this video releases the exact same time. So hopefully you enjoy this look into these new cards. I asked the best player for his best decks with these cards, and I got both of those. I also have two other phenomenal decks from amazing deck builders for you. We're going to kick it off with Ekmati Lockdown. This deck had disappeared for a little bit, and then Ekmati took it back to ladder, and all of a sudden, this is right now the number 5 ranked deck in Marvel Snap. In addition, our friend Interrobang has managed to take this deck out of nowhere and win like a million Infinity Borders with it. So this is a deck that absolutely rocks on ladder. It absolutely rocks in Conquest. Go give this one some love. You can find Ekmati on twitter.com/Ekmati and on twitch.tv/Interrobang with an E at the end because Interrobang was taken for Intero. This deck needs Zabu, Doom 29, Warm Aiken, and Legion. Now, very quickly, once in a while, you get lucky with this list. Not as often as you did when Storm costs 3, but once in a while you get extraordinary lucky, where you get Zabu or Psylocke into, on turn 3, either Storm or War Machine, turn 4, the other of the two, turn 5, Legion. That is an auto win. Please snap the second you have that play. You almost always win the game. Iron Lad, Mobius, and Jeff are your swing positions. Super Skrull, Copycat, Juggernaut, Rogue. You want good, cheap cards or meta answers. Throw a Shang-Chi in there. Feel free. Any of those good, cheap cards that answer the meta are where you're looking. Mobius is, in my opinion, one of the best meta answers to run right now if you can actually afford to do so. All right, so turn 1, you want Zabu over Ebony Maw. You will play Ebony Maw here, though, as War Machine and Doom don't really give a crap about that card taking up a spot and not letting you play there. Turn 2, Psylocke over Jeff, although if you have Zabu and you're already hitting your other stuff, you've already hit Doom on your next draw, whatever, feel free to drop Jeff instead. Turn 3, Doom 2099 is better than Storm or War Machine, is better than Iron Lad, and that's better than Mobius. You would, if you get Storm War Machine on 3, you're trying to set up for that big combo play. That's obviously very powerful. Doom is still your main game plan, and if you have Storm War Machine Legion, then that goes above Doom. But if you drew that well, good for you. Iron Lad is trying to hit that Doom. If you end up playing it that turn, it's also fine hitting Storm War Machine, and then Mobius is just sometimes you got to play a 3, friends. Turn 4 is the exact same thing as 3. Storm War Machine into Legion is still free win, so don't forget to snap. You're only going to get 2 cubes when you do it, but hey, it's 2 free cubes. Turn 5 is Legion or War Machine, and getting out War Machine on turn 5 is important because it gives your opponent extraordinarily complicated math to do. That complicated math comes down to they have to try and figure out should they cover for the 15 of Doom, which is going to be more like 25, 27 of Doom if you have 2099 out, or should they be looking for going really tall in one lane and try and counter Infinite? It's very hard to cover both. They end up guessing, and you end up winning cubes as a result. We're going to look at the day 1 Sam Wilson deck in a moment. First, one last look at this one from Ekmati and Intero. Please do check this deck out. I think you'll have a really, really high success rate, especially if you're looking to climb to early Infinite. Before we get to the next deck, I'm going to ask you to hit that sub button if you're willing. The bottom right of the screen has that little YouTube button. If you hit that, you sub. We give you at least 7 days a week of Marvel Snap videos. Honestly, most weeks we do 8, some weeks we do 9 or 10. We cover Marvel Snap more consistently and thoroughly than absolutely anyone. If you want the best decks before anyone else, click that button. You don't want to miss out. This video will also have a free Sam Wilson Captain America in the comments. All you have to do is sub, like, and then later this video, leave a comment. That comment enters you to win Sam Wilson Captain America. So who doesn't like free stuff? Hit that sub as we try and do our best to give back to this great community. Sam Wilson Captain America, for anyone who does not know, is a 2/3 game start. Add Cap Shield to random location. And when you play Sam, he gets the ongoing. You can move Cap Shield. So at the start of the game, he's going to drop this 1/1 shield to a random location. Now, in the preview video, this can't be destroyed wasn't there, and that's going to be an important thing to like check out when the card actually releases. So you'll know that better than I will at this point of recording. But you give your Cap 2 power when this moves to Cap's location. So if you play this on the center location, you play Cap Sam Wilson on the left. Sorry, the shield is in the central location. You play Cap Sam Wilson on the left. You can then, once you play him, the next turn, you can move the shield there. And now you've got a 2/5 in power. You can move it away, move it back next turn. You've got a 2/7 in power. That's pretty good. This also, by the way, works with the other Captain America. The other Captain America can't move the shield, right? But Steve Rogers Captain America Classic, the Series 1 card, will get the +2 power also if Sam Wilson or another card moves it into that Captain America's location. That location is also where you're often going to want to end the shield because the shield is an ongoing, and Captain America, the other Captain America, this is going to get annoying, sorry, gives +2 power to the shield, which means the shield is also going to be a 1/3 on top of all the buffs that both Sam and Steve Rogers are getting. However, I don't think the best deck for this card is going to be a Captain America centric deck. In fact, I think the best deck is going to be a deck we actually talked about on Sunday. I named this Captain Austria. I asked Sizer, the best player in Marvel Snap. He was the number one player 4 times last year in 2024, and then he was number one again in 2025. He's the best ladder player at the very least in the world. He's absolutely brilliant at this game. He has decided that the best home for this is this simple Scream deck that we ended up featuring on Sunday from CHZ. Now, the brilliance of this list is not immediately obvious. You look at this and you go, okay, I guess Cap is decent power, right? And you can throw him onto Kraven and that'll make Kraven reasonably big. Well, sure, that's great. But what you really want to be doing here, what you really have extra ability to do is remember, if your opponent's not running Luke and you can get Scream going early, it is an insanely powerful card. It has a crazy win rate. Glenn Jones himself confirmed that for us. So, what stops Scream? Luke Cage, okay, fine. They get Luke, we just run. Or we have to go with other game plans. What else? Red Guardian. Every deck runs Red Guardian. It's one of the most played cards in the game. What if you drop Scream on that shield? That shield is a 1/1. You are now completely protected from Red Guardian, and you have this snap condition level powerful card that you can use to win the game. Absolutely sick. This deck is awesome, and Captain America, Sam Wilson, fits in it perfectly because it has both synergies with Scream and with Kraven. So you love to see it. All right, so Sizer is at twitch.tv, twitter.com, and YouTube at Sizer2654. Please do go check him out. He is, again, the best player in the game. And this is not Sizer's original deck. This is an alteration of a deck from CHZ, who you should absolutely give some props and respect to for coming up with this deck where he finished last season around the top 20 with this list. This deck needs both Scream and Hope Summers. Galactor or Gwenpool are needed. You need one of the two, but the other can be Shang-Chi. Hydra Bob, it can be Kingpin, and Sam Wilson can be Jeff or Nightcrawler, or Iron Patriot, but I try not to use high series cards as replacement. Then I realized I had Jeff there, and, we just went with it. All right, so this was featured Sunday, but Sam is just so great here. Turn 1, you want Hydra Bob. Turn 2, Scream over Kraven, which is more or less equal to Sam. Turn 3, you want Hope over a 2 over Polaris. Hope is always going to be your 3. You might want to play Galactor or Gwenpool on 4. You also might want to start getting Stegron, Polaris, so on, if you've got Scream going, because again, remember, Scream is so powerful. Keep an eye out for when you can use a mini Clog game plan. Both Polaris and Stegron offer you a chance to really, really clog an opponent up and give them a really hard time. Meanwhile, you should be very hard to clog up because Sam Wilson can move that stuff around and prevent that clog. Okay, so turn 4 Galactor or Gwenpool, or you can start doing that clog stuff. You can also drop a 2/2 if you played Scream. You can play Sam and Kraven here. If you played Polaris on 3, you can also go 1 and 3. You can go like a Hope and a Miles now, and you can still get that extra energy for the next turn. Turn 5, you really want 7 energy for the next turn, but you're fine doing the same basic stuff as turn 4 overall. The 7 energy on turn 6 is huge here because otherwise you're going Jug, Unplayed 2, Miles, or Bob. If you can go Jug 2/2s or Jug 3/1, you're in really, really great shape. Like if you can play Juggernaut with like a Polaris and then also have dropped a Bob, also have dropped a Miles, you're really, really taking off. You put a lot of power up in unpredictable spots, and your opponent's power doesn't end up where they think it should go. Super cool. We're going to look at new Falcon bouts, but first, one last look at this list as we take a look at this very strong and very cool list. Before we get any further, tonight on stream, my son has piano around 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Basically, the instant he leaves, I will be live on both Twitch and YouTube. I'm going to gather as many different decks for these new cards as possible. I'm going to grab every Joaquin Torres Falcon list, every Sam Wilson Captain America list I can find, and we're going to test them on stream. We try to do 10 games each, but because it's a new season, we're going to do 5 games for each deck and get a good feel for what the best versions of these decks are for tomorrow's video. So come join us, come hang out. The stream is really blowing up right now, so please don't miss out if you're interested in checking it out. It's been a really great hangout. Check the comments. I bet you some people are agreeing. All right, season pass question. Did you watch this morning's video? Are you excited for the new mode? I'm not going to tell you what that new mode is here. We have a whole video breaking it down. That mode explains how you're going to get 7, you heard that right, 7 Series 4 and 5 cards from it. So make sure you check out that video if you haven't yet. So if you have, are you hyped for the new mode? Cool. Nice and simple. That's how you enter to win the season pass. Our next card is Joaquin Torres, who is everyone keeps calling him, all the top players keep calling him One Drop Wong, which is basically what he is. He's One Drop Wong. He basically is Wong for one drops at his location, just like Wong is at his location. He's a 3/4, which is obviously better than a 4/2. Ongoing. The on reveals of your one here happen twice. In yesterday's video, we went over 1,000,000 cards for him. Most of those cards are bounce cards. Anything that like scales upward, getting doubled is incredible. This seems like it's going to work amazingly well with Moonstone. I'm very excited to try this, particularly with Victoria Hand, because I think just getting I should be able to get 4 demons that are 8 power, and that seems like it's really, 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 really crazy strong at the end of the game using Joaquin Torres, and I'm very excited to give that a try. But that's not where we're starting. We're going to start with Sizer's deck, but first we got to talk quickly about the Spotlight caches. So, oh, I still have Old Namor in here. Excuse me. So sorry. First and foremost, Makari is pretty good. We're going to look at a Makari deck toward the end of this video. I've had a lot of fun and success with Makari. I think that this is a very good Surfer card. This is a very good Moongirl card. It's not a requirement card. It's a luxury item, but it's a good luxury item. Namora, I think, is severely underrated and slept on. I've been playing Safety Blade, our friend Safety Blade's deck he calls the One Piece, which is a Namora deck. Namora is not the best card in the deck. The best part of the deck is actually Wong White Tiger shenanigans. But Namora is a key part of this deck having another game plan. It wins games unexpectedly. It's really, really strong, especially now as a 5/7. I really, really am enjoying Namora in that list. We'll cover it either tomorrow or the next day. I need to give it some run into the new meta before I recommend it. I think that these are two of the more underrated cards in Marvel Snap coming with Joaquin Torres. I think Joaquin Torres is fairly likely to be very good. That said, ready for the caveats? Longtime viewers are like, okay, here we go. The caveats. We don't know how good Joaquin Torres is going to be. Even in the first few days, we're not going to know how good Joaquin Torres is. The first, before Loki came out, everyone thought the original Loki was trash, and that card broke the game. Before he came out, the original War Machine was thought to be game breaking, and that card was absolutely terrible. Sometimes I'm right about cards when other people are wrong. I thought that Cannonball was going to be great when everyone else thought it was going to be mid. Same thing for Legion. I also thought Fenris Wolf was going to be kind of bad, and Fenris Wolf and Bullseye are both great cards. Cards I didn't think were going to be good. I don't know of any content creator who has a 100% hit rate on this. So as such, we don't review the card once. What we do is, today I will play all the decks. Tomorrow I'll give you first impressions. Thursday's video, I will ask a bunch of top players, a bunch of top 100 major Marvel Snap players, grinders, what they think of the new cards, and I will present you their first impressions. I will then give you a weekend mission review of the card on Friday, and then on either Sunday or Monday, I will give you a last chance review because people play the card a ton for weekend missions, and by then we usually have a reasonable idea. I don't think we've ever gotten a weekend mission review card wrong. Like by the end of the week, I don't think we've ever gotten a card wrong. So we want to make sure that you spend your tokens and spotlights wisely, and that's why we do all of this stuff to review it. Enough preamble, let's get to the Torres deck. This is the Sizer Joaquin Bounce. This is really a cool idea. I'm curious. This is basically the classic bounce list that's been around for a while now, right? But it's cutting both Bishop and Sage and instead sort of relying on Torres to make up for that power. Basically, what Torres is saying in this list is I can get such a big Rocket Raccoon / Silver Sable that that's a lane winner. And if I need to win another lane, A, I'm being disruptive with Iceman, but that's not really it, right? I should have 2 to 4 demons also, and that plus Hit Monkey should be enough power to win another lane. I think it's a really cool gamble and one worth messing around with. I'm curious if it's good enough, but if it is, we got a problem because I'm gonna be playing a little too much bounce going forward. You can find Sizer again at the same place. All right, so this deck needs Torres, Hitmonkey, and Black Swan. There are versions that run Sage that don't run Torres, but they're totally different, and I don't think they're very good right now, to be perfectly honest, even if I win with them a lot. Bounce is my favorite archetype, so I'm pretty good with it. Silver Sable, Rocket Nico can be America Chavez, Hawkeye. You're just looking for ones that have on reveal. The ones that are missing from this list that are really good are America Chavez and Hawkeye. America Chavez giving +4 to your top card is great. Hawkeye getting +3 twice means it's getting up to a 1/7, which seems like it's pretty good. Stuff like that. Anti-Venom can be Collector. I was suggested by Mr. ELA, Werewolf by Night. I don't actually think Werewolf by Night works with the space that Torres is going to require, but I would like a Sage here. And Toxin, if you don't have Toxin, you're stuck running Mysterio. Mysterio is not bad here, but he's not great. All right, so the bounce is back. Turn 1, Iceman, Sable or Hood, Nico if draw 2 or Demon. Turn 2, Agent Venom is better than Swan is better than a 1-drop. Turn 3, you want to play Torres, and if not, you're happy to play Agent Venom or Swan. If not, you're playing ones. Turn 4, you must play Black Swan. If humanly possible, she has to come out by turn 4. So Black Swan and cards on Torres is your goal. You can also, if you didn't see Torres, Black Swan and play your first bounce. Turn 5, bounce and trigger Swan. If you don't have Swan, you sort of need to save Beast for turn 5 because you're going to want to make sure you have cheaper stuff to do on turn 6, and Beast is the card that enables that. Turn 6, you replay all the cards and hit Monkey. Make sure your big 1-drops go on Torres. You're playing a bunch of demons spread out, and your Monkey should be humongous. Cool. We've got one more great deck after this, but I'm very excited to see how this works. Again, I don't think this is necessarily going to be the best Torres home. I think that it's fairly likely that the best Torres home is going to be Victoria Hand, because Victoria Hand just says, oh, I can have 4 demons now. If you can have 4 demons that are 8 to 10 power each, that's a lot of power, right? I don't know how else to say that. That seems very strong to me. But I hope that this is the home. And Sizer seems very confident in it, and he just hit number 1 for a million times with move bounce. So I hope he's right. If you'd like to see gameplay from all these decks outside of just checking out my stream, you could check out the stream team. If you are busy, Prashant at 12 p.m. Eastern will be playing some games of Snap. Oh, that already happened. Hopefully he's still live. Go check him out. All right. Next up, we have Big Baby's Moongirl list. Credit to KM Best, who featured this list. Baby had stopped playing for a little while and has since been climbing like a maniac with this list, and I wanted to feature a Makari list, so here we frickin' are. So this is a very cool list that has been winning a lot at High Infinite. This deck needs both Gwenpool and Gladiator. I don't think those are negotiable. Gladiator is just keyword big, and Gwenpool is the only 4-drop that really in this deck does the job you need to in when you don't see Moongirl. Makari can be Wasp. Basically, what you're using them for is to sort of manage your hand size when you want a Moongirl. Wasp does that just as well, but Makari is a lot more power. Iron Patriot can be Mirage here. That's worse, but fine. Please note, we are not running Black Swan. We are not running Hitmonkey, so we can just sort of go all out. Jeff can be Nightcrawler here. You're basically using Jeff as a general rule to move to get 1-cost Spider-Man, 1-cost Miles Morales Spider-Man on the right turn. If you can move Jeff or Rocket Groot to do that, and then you get 2 of those, you get 12 power for 2 energy, which is a lot. Red Guardian can be Rogue, Rocket Groot can be Polaris or Spidey. Spidey being another way to get that extra energy if you need it. Turn 1, Sunspot or Quinjet. Turn 2, Iron Patriot over Jeff. Turn 3, you would like to get Rocket and Groot out or Jeff because you need to make sure that you're ready for that double Miles. That's better than Gladiator, which is better than 2+1. Turn 4, Moongirl if possible. Gwenpool pending targets. Turn 5, if you played Moongirl and you have She-Hulk, or if you just have She-Hulk, you're going to pass. That Sunspot's going to grow, you'll be fine. Make sure you move Jeff or Rocket Group for the cheap Miles on the last turn. If not, if you don't have that She-Hulk, you're going to play either Gwenpool or Moongirl on turn 5 just fine. Turn 6, you play everything you can. You just sort of drop it all, and you say, let's go. Really cool list. Props to BigBaby for coming up with it. I love Moongirl lists. I wish they were meta more often. I'm very happy to see this list succeeding. Questions of the day. Our first question is from Jordanonymous. In another timeline, what IP does Snap use? And, okay. So, like, the easy answer is DC, and I don't want the easy answer to be DC. So we're going to go somewhere else entirely. We're going to go with Lord of the Rings. This is going to be the Silmarillion, the ancient Lord of the Rings, the game. And I think that would be really, really fun. If not, we can also go with, oh my God, I just lost this author's name. It was in my head when I started talking. The Stormlight Archive guy. Yeah, sorry, brain fart, and the name is now gone. Please don't type it at me 5,000 times in the comments. It will be literally the second I hit stop recording, it will pop into my brain. But I think that would be really cool, having all the characters from the Kashmir in the game instead of Marvel characters. Westvale Abbey asks if there's anything I'm excited to teach this spring, and I haven't actually said this in a long time. By the way, the name is Brandon Sanderson as I record this live on Twitch, and someone in chat saved my butt. Thank you, Blood Rage. So Westvale Abbey asks if there's anything I'm excited to teach this spring, and as the spring comes up, there's one thing that I always really, really love teaching. I have this unit that I made up. I call it the Nothing Unit. It's a unit ultimately about things that no one in their right mind should care about, and there's one text in particular that I really love teaching. It's Virginia Woolf's The Death of the Moth. It is a story where she literally sits there and watches a moth die and contemplates life. And it is one of the most beautiful and powerful things. At the start of it, like I sell it, it's a whole like acting performance teaching it. We read it together where I read 90% of it. By the end of it, I can usually get a bunch of kids crying as a moth dies. The ultimate lesson of the unit being, and sorry for spoilers, but the ultimate lesson of the unit being um, empathy is valuable and extremely personal, and anything great or small can end up something we really care about. And if that's the case, once we recognize that, then we should really do a better job at caring more and expanding our minds. Because if we can cry over a moth, then we should also be caring about the suffering of as many people and things as we can, because it's easy for anything to really become important to us. And and it starts with a selfish outlook, right? And then we realize that Wolf is somewhat the moth, and we're somewhat the moth, and we all live these tiny little lives fluttering around from window pane to window pane. And there's beauty in that shortness and tragedy, and it's worth caring. It's worth giving a shit, always. Certain tiers of support on our Patreon come with on-air thanks. I'm going to say thank you to... Oh, wait, this is the Ocularis Patreon thanks. Ocularis, who won the most giveaways on our Streamathon, gets the special shout out for the month. So thank you to Oculars, Abigail Giesland, the OG, Mandatory Burnout, I'm live, so we're going to go quickly now, sorry about that, Irregardless, LAB, Inc., I Am Frostman, Hota Navarrete, Thinking Poker, Primed Ryan, Ryan Burke, Ryan Wood, Kertix Lee, Koirei, Kazushi, Archangel 3K, Black Dahlia, Pyrofrost, The Goat Seeker, Hallowed, Only Fox, Synth, who crushed it in her first night as a mod, Pat Nick, Dirty, Casual, Mr. Kerfuffle, Cables, Ginger Prime, Philip Rakovich, Haplo, Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone, The Bizza, Black Jeebus 23, Exorcy, and Skippy G, Jessica Gamble, Slush Death, The King of Bros, Brup, The Great Kazoo, Werewolf, what's up, Werewolf, Kev Suhoda, Luna Chris, hey Luna, Clam, Forbin, what's going on, Rob Silverman, M. Holland, David G. Wingfield, Steven, Brian Cough, Tristan Martin, Jason B., and Craig Sterry, Mr. Craig Sterry, if you choose. That is the long real name town. Ren Wrench, Corwin, John Q, and Jim McHugh. Much smaller is Q Town. Yistout, 8th Sage, 1 Big Man, who hung out and gifted today. Thank you, 1 Big Man. Milkman for Reals, BG, Quid Pro Joe, Snap to Scissors Joe, who had Regis on his podcast. Go check it out. Regis Kilman, Models, Mod Supreme, Green Goblin, Unibot, Sup Uni, Flan56, The Fuzzy Lump, Spectrum X, Hoot, Matt H. I said Matt V already. I just forgot to delete it yesterday. DJ, Mikey Hijinks, if you're still here. Hello, friend. No Frickin' Flex. Nick, the Greek Geek, who is here. What's up, Nicky? Zodrex, the King of Canada. Den Man Falcon, Fathor Newman. I just realized I'm being loud and might wake up my family. Fathor Newman. What's up, my friend? Check him out on YouTube and Twitch. Jonesy, Triple Threat. Two Ties. The Great Lordez, the Pirate King Tucker, and of course, Gunny T, where the T stands for Peace Out. I still got to record the first video. I know the magic of release schedules. Peace. Hit that sub. Watch the other videos. Don't miss out.